Here are 13 free hacks that can make anyone 99% more disciplined. These are the exact strategies I used to transform myself from a distracted, broke 23-year-old with ADHD into someone who tackles every tough challenge head-on, without fail, and built a $100 million empire. You don't need motivation to start using these hacks. You can implement them today and see the difference. So, let's dive right in. Here are 13 hacks to unlock next-level discipline, starting with number 1. Hack number 1, cancel your morning alarm. I know a guy who sets 7 morning alarms. He wakes up, hits snooze, wakes up again, snoozes, and repeats this cycle every 15 minutes. Seriously, what are you doing? Why are you still lying in bed? Every time you hit snooze, you're telling yourself that life can wait, that staying in bed is better than getting up and attacking the day. But most of your problems could be solved with one simple fix: going to bed on time. So how do I wake up at 4 a.m. every day without an alarm? Simple, I go to bed at 9 p.m. There's nothing impressive about it. In fact, the only alarm I use is a bedtime alarm to remind me when to sleep. If the first decision you make in the morning is to snooze your alarm, you've already lost the battle. Instead, delete your alarm altogether. Doing this forces you to take your bedtime seriously because you'll need to wake up naturally. Without an alarm to jolt you awake, you won't be tempted to binge another episode or scroll endlessly on your phone. You'll know that if you don't get enough sleep, your body will make you pay for it the next day. And when you wake up fully rested, you'll be ready to dominate the day. Before we move on to hack number 2, we're on a mission to hit 1 million subscribers, so if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Now, let's get to the next hack. Hack number 2, build a bigger library, not a bigger TV. I remember listening to Jim Rohn, often considered the godfather of personal development, and he said something that stuck with me: most people who are broke have bigger TVs than they do libraries. The average person is quick to buy a massive 65 or 75-inch TV, but my advice is different: invest in books instead. When someone recommends a book to me, I don't just buy it, I buy every other book that author has written and see what other recommendations come up. I have an unlimited budget for my mind because I believe in feeding it constantly. That belief keeps me disciplined and focused on achieving what most people can't. There's a reason companies like Ferrari and Lamborghini don't run TV ads. Their customers aren't sitting around watching TV. They're busy building, creating, and shaping their lives instead of being sold on someone else's version of a better life. TV delivers dopamine, and your brain is wired to crave it. If you're not careful, it can take over your life. Most people who stop me when I'm driving one of my supercars ask me, "How did you become rich?" My answer isn't about what I did, it's about what I didn't do. I didn't waste hours watching TV. Instead, I fed my mind. My success is a direct result of going all in on self-education. No one forced me to do it. I wasn't sitting in a classroom or being graded on homework. I educated myself because I wanted something more for my life. That's why having a bigger library is more important than having a bigger TV. When you make it a habit to invest in your education, that habit becomes discipline, and discipline is what leads to real success. Now, let's move on to hack number 3. Hack 3, turn off all notifications. You may not realize this, but the biggest tech companies in Silicon Valley are engineering distractions, because distractions kill dreams. A perfect example. My buddy owns a retail store. One morning at 5 a.m., we called him with a question. He answered, then got mad at us for calling so early. I said, "Dude, just put your phone on Do Not Disturb." His response: "That must be nice for you, but I have a store, and my security alarm goes straight to my phone. I need to be available." Really? So he's the only business owner in history who can't set up a professional alarm system properly? The truth is, most people think they need to be constantly available when, in reality, they're just letting distractions take over their lives. They're not focused on deep work or developing real discipline. Your goals should matter more than your notifications. Instead of constantly reacting to pings and alerts, design a life that's more exciting than the social media apps pulling you away. For me, the only person who can call me directly is my wife. I set up a special setting on my phone just for that. Everyone else, I control when I engage. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and schedule specific times to check messages, Slack, and missed calls. I don't even check my email inbox anymore. People love to brag about achieving inbox zero, but I aim for zero inbox. Because let's be honest, your email inbox is just a public to-do list of other people's priorities for your time. Turning off notifications is the key to unlocking discipline because it removes unnecessary distractions. When you're deep in focus, the last thing you need is a random ping, vibration, or noise pulling you away. That's why, when I'm working, my office door is closed. My kids know not to knock unless it's an emergency. It's a clear signal, this is my deep work time, please don't interrupt me. You need to set those boundaries for yourself too. Your focus needs to be protected. Your energy needs to be protected. Your attention needs to be protected. Give it to your work. Now, let's move on to hack number 4. Hack 4, hack your algorithm. This idea might mess with your head, but hear me out. I spend millions of dollars every year to buy back my time so I can focus on high-impact work. And what do I do at night? I scroll social media for 3 hours a day. Why? Because I've curated my social feed to feed my mind. Every video I like, every search I make, and every account I follow is intentional. My feed isn't full of distractions, it's a mini university I've designed to learn about AI, media, success, and motivation. The key is not letting the algorithm control you. If you're mindlessly scrolling through nonsense, fix it. Unfollow accounts that don't add value. Stop looking at content that triggers you. Be intentional about who you learn from, follow people who are closer to your goals than your current circle. And don't be afraid to hit mute. You don't have to engage with everything. When something pops up that doesn't serve you, tap those 3 dots and select Not Interested. Keep doing that, and soon, your feed will be tailored to support your goals, sharpen your focus, and fuel your discipline. This costs you nothing, and it can completely shift your mindset, creativity, and ability to stay on track. Now, let's get into hack number 5. Hack 5, master your list. The other day, someone asked me, "Hey, do you have a system for," and before they could even finish, I said, "Yes. I have a system for packing. I have a system for meal prep. I have a system for travel. I have a system for everything." Why? Because if I have to do something more than once, I document it so the next time is easier, more efficient, and mistake-free. And as I refine my systems, I can hand them off to someone else, buying back my time. Checklists are the key to getting more time and staying disciplined. They prevent distractions by eliminating unnecessary decisions. The most disciplined people aren't superhuman, they just write everything down. Your brain isn't meant to remember things. It's designed to solve big problems. If you clutter it with endless to-dos, it slows you down. Writing things down clears the mental fog and gives you clarity, which leads to better focus and execution. Once you get everything out of your head and onto paper, you can prioritize. And here's the secret, your sequencing determines your success. When you write things down, sort them, and tackle them in the right order, you create momentum. Now, let's move on to hack number 6. Hack 6, stack your habits. Every once in a while, I get a client who comes to me saying, "I want to change everything. I'm redesigning my business, my habits, my whole life." They take massive action all at once, because they read somewhere that's how success happens. But in reality, They're setting themselves up to fail. Think about how many people decide to get in shape and suddenly start going to the gym twice a day, running miles, and completely overhauling their diet, only to burn out and give up. It happens all the time. I believe in massive action, but consistently. Instead of changing everything overnight, stack your habits. Lock in one big habit first, maybe it's better nutrition, working out, or waking up earlier. Once that becomes automatic, then you can add another. James Clear said it best, habits are the compounding interest of self-improvement. The best way to build discipline and install new habits is to anchor them to something you already do automatically. Ask yourself, what is a habit I already have? How can I attach a new habit to it? For example, if you brush your teeth every morning and want to start taking vitamins, put your vitamins next to your toothpaste. If you want to read more and drink coffee every morning, place your book or Kindle beside the coffee maker. The highest level of habit formation is when it becomes part of your identity. Think about it, if you're not a smoker, you don't constantly remind yourself not to buy cigarettes. Why? Because you're not a smoker. It's just not who you are. For me, working out requires zero discipline now. Why? Because it's just who I am. My mantra for years has been, sweat every day. If I don't work out, it feels as weird as walking around without pants. It's just part of me. When you stack habits and reinforce them, they stop feeling like effort. They become who you are. Now, let's move on to hack number 7. Hack 7, commit to someone. The other day, I was at the gym when Alex, a guy on my team, came up to me and said, "Hey man, I want to produce more content." I looked at him and said, "No, you don't." He was confused. "Yes, I do." So I challenged him. "Prove it." "How?" he asked. I said, "Commit to posting 2 pieces of content a day. If you do, you get to take your girlfriend to a spa. If you don't, you have to run a marathon with no prep, and announce it on social media." He shook my hand. That was his commitment, to me, to his girlfriend, who really wanted that spa day, and to his entire social circle. Zero chance he was going to miss. And guess what? He's now over 600 days in without missing a single day. Here's why this works: people will do more for others than they'll ever do for themselves. Think about it, if your doctor prescribes you medication, you might take 75% of it. But if your dog needs 2 pills a day for 100 days, you'll never miss a dose. We naturally prioritize others over ourselves. That's why accountability is the key to discipline. Finding a mentor, coach, or training partner holds you to a higher standard. If you schedule gym time with a friend, you'll be way less likely to cancel, because now, you're not just letting yourself down. The secret to building discipline? Make the game easy to play. If you truly want to achieve something, tell someone you respect. When they hold you accountable, you'll follow through. Now, let's move on to hack number 8. Hack 8, clean out your pantry. I believe it's easier to avoid the dragon than to fight it. So many of my fitness clients struggled to stick to the plan. They sabotaged their progress, made poor decisions, and kept falling back into old habits. I kept telling them, go into your house, take out all the junk food, and have a conversation with your family. Let them know you need their support for the next 90 days. Stop blaming them. If temptation is a problem, set yourself up for success. Get a locked cabinet if you need to, one that only your spouse has the key to. The best way to win the discipline game is to eliminate the need for constant decision-making. Set the standard in your home. Remove unhealthy options entirely. When something isn't within reach, it's far easier to stay on track. Here's the big idea: your environment will always beat your willpower. If you want to make good decisions, you have to set yourself up so that good choices are the only ones available. Discipline isn't about resisting temptation, it's about removing it. Make good choices the easy, automatic choices. This applies to more than just food. Your phone. Get rid of the distractions. Delete the apps that pull you away from your goals. If you have to check social media, do it on your computer. Video games. You don't have to keep them at home. Move them somewhere else. Tell a friend, "Hey man, I just got you a new game console, I'll come over on the weekends to play." Problem solved. It's way easier to avoid the dragon than to fight it. Which brings us to hack number 9. Hack 9, make failure painful. This was painful, but it was the best decision I ever made. My first business coach cost $1,500 a month. I didn't have the money. But I figured, if he's as good as he claims, then in a few months, he should help me make enough to cover his fee. The real pain wasn't spending the money, it was not doing the work. Not showing up would have been painful. Not taking detailed notes would have been even more costly. The true cost wasn't the money, it was failing to get results. That's why I set up the game so that the pain of failure was greater than the effort required to succeed. Most people don't pay, so they don't pay attention. What they don't realize is that transformation happens at the transaction. In that moment, you tell yourself, "I need to get my money's worth." And that's powerful. People will always work harder to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. So, if you want to build discipline, here are a few ideas to make it stick. First, always have stakes involved. Anytime you make a commitment, create a scenario where failure has real consequences. Put your money on the line. If you're wondering, how do I make this painful? Here's a strategy: donate to an organization you hate. Maybe it's the opposite political party or a cause you strongly disagree with. If you don't achieve your goal, a large sum of your money goes to them. Or, have some fun with it. Tell a friend, "If I don't follow through, I'll give you $1,000. But don't just hand it to a friend, give it to someone you really dislike. Imagine making a commitment that if you fail, $1,000 goes straight to your enemy. Think that would motivate you? Another powerful motivator. Embarrassment. When I committed to Project Visible Labs, a 90-day transformation, I set the stakes high. I went from 17% body fat down to 5%. The price of failure? Entering a fitness competition, with my dad bod, no tan, and an unshaved chest. Motivated? That's not even the right word. I was highly motivated. There was zero chance I wasn't going to hit my goal. I would have fasted for 13 days straight if I had to. Which brings us to number 10. Hack 10, start with the Big Domino. Most people believe that momentum is something we build. I think that's a complete lie. The best way to start your day is by tackling the hardest problems first. That's when your creativity is at its peak, and for me, that's always where I focus my energy first. The momentum comes after, it carries over into everything else. But I'm not chasing small wins. I'm aiming for a massive win right away, then the next biggest one, and the next, before my creative energy runs low. The real challenge? Stopping the habit of picking the easiest task first. In many ways, people's dreams of a bigger life get derailed because they take the easy path to a smaller goal. Most people could have a bigger life if they chose harder challenges and stuck with them, instead of settling for the simpler route. So, how do we make sure we stay on track? Simple, put the big tasks first. The rest will fall into place. In practice, this means your biggest commitments go first in your calendar. I literally schedule them in, and I honor my calendar. Too often, we procrastinate on big projects, a test, a presentation, a major decision, and instead of tackling it right away, we push it off. This only leads to anxiety and frustration. We end up being short-tempered with the people around us, even when they have no idea why. Deep down, we know the truth, we're mad at ourselves. But we take it out on everyone else. That's not fair. Decide to do the hardest thing first, and watch the momentum build in your life. Which brings us to hack number 11. Hack 11, delete useless decisions. Want to take a guess at what's in my closet? A blue shirt. Another blue shirt. And more blue shirts. I have thousands of them. Why? Because I don't want to waste time thinking about what to wear. A long time ago, I realized I'd have to get dressed every day, but I didn't want to spend any mental energy making that decision. So, I chose a simple formula: same color, same brand, every day. No decision fatigue. I believe in deciding once so I can focus on bigger things. Make the decision, don't repeat yourself, and move on. In programming, this concept is called dry, don't repeat yourself. The same principle applies to life. Most people waste their mental energy making the same small decisions over and over, leaving them with little capacity to tackle the big things. I'd rather use my discipline and willpower on what really matters. Jeff Bezos once said that when he wakes up, he reads the newspaper, putters around a bit, and then gets to work. He only makes 2 or 3 big decisions a day, usually before 11 a.m. After that, he's done. Those big decisions require deep focus, and if you waste your mental energy on minor choices, you'll have nothing left for what truly moves the needle. This mindset applies to everything in my life. Meals. I meal prep and eat the same macros. Workouts. Same place, same time. People. I interact with the same core group. Clothes. You already know. My weekly schedule. Locked in. My rhythm of existence. Consistent. I made my decisions a long time ago. If it's not broken, I don't change it, because I want to focus on big things, not get distracted by small ones. Which brings us to number 12. Hack 12, find disciplined friends. When I decided to leave my small town and explore what the world had to offer, I knew one thing for sure: I needed to surround myself with people who were closer to my goals than just close to me. That's a big question you should ask yourself: are the people you spend time with supporting and encouraging you? Or are they making it harder for you to go after what you want? Here's a simple exercise: think about the key habits that lead to success in your life. Now, think of the people in your circle. Do they make it more likely that you'll stick to those habits, or less? If it's less, why are you letting them have such a big role in your life? Maybe it's time to create some space. Maybe you can love them from a distance. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But I'd take it a step further: you are the average of the 5 people you allow to influence you. The good news? Influence doesn't have to come from the people physically around you. It can come from social media, books, podcasts, or even mentors you've never met. Here's what I've learned: discipline is contagious. When you're around people who are disciplined, people who track their macros, work out every day, and stay committed to their goals, it makes your discipline feel effortless. If that means doing a friend inventory, do it. Sit down and ask yourself: what are my goals? Who are the types of people that will help me get there faster? Are my current friends pushing me forward or holding me back? And let me be clear, just because you've known someone since high school or sat next to them in math class doesn't mean you have to be friends forever. That said, some friendships are worth keeping. But in general, the people in my life today are closer to my goals and dreams than just close to me personally. Some of you might feel lonely, like you don't have the right people around you yet. That's okay. Start by finding virtual mentors, through books, coaching, podcasts, and online communities. I'm guessing that's why you're here. You're looking for people who will expand your vision of what's possible, people who will help you build the life you want. Learn from them. Adopt their beliefs, their mindset, their way of thinking. Which brings us to the final hack, number 13. Hack 13, visualize your goals. How often do I review my goals? Yearly? Monthly? Weekly? No. I look at them at least 3 times a day, every single day. I have 12 power goals that I've set for the year. Every day, I review them and ask myself, am I investing my time and money in alignment with these goals? Does my calendar reflect my priorities? If the answer is no, I take action. What phone calls do I need to make? What projects do I need to stop or start? This process helps me achieve about 75 to 80% of my goals each year. Not 100%, because they're big, ambitious goals, but hitting 65 to 75% of them is a huge win. And I wouldn't get there without reviewing them constantly. If you're struggling with discipline, here's a reality check. Do you want it as bad as you say you do? Because if you do, you'll be willing to put in the work. And the way you get the work done is by reviewing your progress, setting clear goals, visualizing them, and attacking them daily. It's not enough to just have goals. You have to live in the energy of achieving them. I call this the rule of 300. You need 100% clarity, know exactly what you want, down to the last detail. Be specific. You need 100% belief, even if it seems impossible, even if you've never done it before, you must believe in your soul that it's possible. You need 100% commitment, hold on to that clarity and belief 100% of the time. Most people fall short because they lack clarity, belief, or consistency. They might feel inspired for a moment, but self-doubt creeps in. I constantly check myself, how clear am I? How strong is my belief? Can I maintain that belief over time? When I can hold on to that mindset, the 300% rule, I can pull my goals into reality. You have to feel it. You have to see it. You have to make it real. That's why it's so important to shop your dreams. If you want a certain car, go sit in it. Smell the leather. Grip the steering wheel. Take a picture of yourself in it, don't just grab an image from the internet. Make it real. Stand in the house you want. Walk through the hotel you dream of staying in. Surround yourself with the people you aspire to be like. When you immerse yourself in your dream, it becomes part of your identity. Discipline isn't just about checking boxes, it's about preparing yourself to receive the success you're working for. It's about becoming the person who is ready for that life. If you don't visualize where you're going, if you don't see how your effort impacts others, it's going to be tough to stay disciplined and consistent. The most powerful thing you can have is clarity around your vision. Once you have that, everything else starts to fall into place. It all becomes so much easier. Conclusion. You've now heard the 13 free hacks to become 99.9% more disciplined, the very same strategies that took me from broke and distracted to building a $100 million empire. Now it's your turn to take action. This isn't about fleeting motivation, it's about building the discipline to unlock your dreams. And it starts right now. Are you ready to join me? If so, smash that like button. Then drop a comment below and tell me which hack you're implementing today. Share this video with someone who needs it. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's next. And finally, dive into the How to Success playlist for even more powerful insights. Let's do this together, your dreams are waiting. Go out there and make them a reality.